What's up guys, Brad here from Piney Grove, and we had a totally different video planned today. We actually had a great product we wanted to bring you from a small business to help us mow out here in Piney Grove, but the part didn't fit exactly right on the mower. So we got to get a special washer to make it work. So Deb's gonna go ahead and mow with the blades that we know that work well. And I'm just gonna kind of give you an update on what's going on up here. So she did a couple of test strips and then we were gonna show the new product, but that didn't work. So we put the mower back together and she's just gonna mow from the pond where that dirt bank is over here to this tree line, and that'll get her caught up to where she mowed last week. She's on to something, and it could be a grasshopper. Let's see. No, it's a frog. Bella, stop. Stop, honey. Leave the frog alone. Yeah, it's a frog. There it goes in the water. She's discovered a new pastime now. We have these tree frogs at home that stick to the side of the building, and she'll go out in the complete dark and just, you can't believe that she can see them, and just kill tree frogs alongside the house. She's just ridiculous. I got this look on my face because I'm wondering what the heck Deb is doing. She's way over there. She's supposed to be over here mowing. I just don't know what she's doing over there. And I just looked at her and gave her the, you know, what's up sign. That girl. She's literally debating with hand signals like, why can't I do it my way? And it's like, there's not a wrong way, but this is the most efficient way. In case something were to break or something were to happen, we would have this section mowed instead of up against the woods, which I don't care about right now, but I'm sure in her mind, she's thinking, what difference does it make? So something interesting that happened this week, we got our first draft, or our first draft after our first changes of our new house, plans. It's just really hard. We've never built a house from, you know, custom plans before. So leave a comment down below if you have any advice for us, or, you know, if you've done it before, if there's any things to look out for. But what we're finding is we took a 2,500 square foot house plan and shrunk it down to 2,100, and all the rooms shrunk, and we might have lost a room along the way there. But what we're finding is, all right, this is the way we think we want the kitchen, but then we start thinking through how that kitchen would work as far as the stove and the sink and all that. And we're just questioning ourselves, because if we approve this plan and the house is built that way and we don't like it, you know, we're kind of stuck with it. We just paid a lot of money for a house with a kitchen we don't like, or a layout we don't like. So what we're gonna do, the house is gonna be up on the hill over there. We're gonna put some stakes in the ground and kind of stake out every room and just kind of visualize the best we can with stakes and string of how the rooms will lay out, and kind of go from there. So when we built that house in the background, and that's a 1,600 square foot house for my parents, it's a very open concept with 2 bedrooms, and we didn't do a lot of changes on it. It's just a basic house. So we just built it and kind of checked with them occasionally on how they might want it, and worked with the builder on some subtle changes. But this is our forever home here. First one we've ever built, first custom home we've ever built. It's just too much money to get wrong and then have to live the rest of your life with something you designed, but because you didn't know any better, you designed it wrong. So this here is where the house will be. It's a pad we had created from the pond dirt. So that drops off a good 4 feet right there down to the driveway. And Deb's probably another 6 feet lower than the driveway. To put it in perspective, I'm up on the pad of the house, driveway behind me, and Deb in the background. The house will face this way, basically northeast. And the side of the house, the kitchen, will face there. The garage will be over there, separate from the house. It'll be a metal building like the mega shed, probably the same color. I don't know, I probably should have checked with Deb before I said anything. It's probably gonna be the same color as the house, which I think it's gonna be white and black. Well, that's what I think it's gonna be. Who knows what we're gonna agree or disagree on. But I started out this video saying that we were gonna make a different type of video, and we had to flex, called an audible, and we're making this type of video now. And that's one thing I've definitely learned as I've gotten older, and especially with this shoulder surgery, is you can't take things for granted. And you know, when you have a life event like this surgery come up, you've just got to accept that life's going to be different for a while. And that's hard to do. It's hard to do for me. I'm sure it's hard to do for most people, but as you get older, it seems like you got to do that more and more. You got to make exceptions and sacrifices, and you don't really want to. And it comes down to this house as well. You know, if we get it wrong, we will have made an exception to continue to live in it when it's wrong. I'm keeping an eye on Bella. There's quail in this area of our property. We don't show this side very much. This is our east fence line. We haven't redone the fence yet. It's our last major project that we have to do fencing wise on the perimeter. We got a 3/4 mile perimeter around here, around the 20 acres, and a walking path. You can see it behind me. And this fence here has a good T-post, but there's a lot of trees grown in it. And the fence is good enough to kind of keep Bella in, but it doesn't really keep coyotes out or you know, other people's dogs or stuff like that. It's pretty low, it can be jumped over, and there's a few holes in it. All right, it's been a minute since I've given her direction, so I'm gonna totally change it up on her. Now that she's got this big area done, it's now not efficient to go end to end. She needs to go end to end over here and go where she is now over against the woods and start working on that circle. Kind of hard to give her directions when she won't look at me. She won't look at me. Look, I'm pointing. She won't look. That's funny. She's making sure she don't hit that tree with the bucket or the mower. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this pond. I think we're gonna commit the money to draining it and doing like Adam did up there in Hometown Acres. Drain it and bring in the right kind of clay for the bottom. This is just, in our opinion, it's just too nice a property to have this pond here that maybe one every 3 years is going to be full and looking nice. And we want it to look nice every time we come and go. And it's just not going to do it on its own. It's one of those expensive mistakes in life. Why have everything else the way you want it and then have to drive by that big gaping crater right there that never has enough water in it to please us? I think she's singing to herself. Bell, Bell, come here. Here's our 1 acre food plot that's currently in soybeans. Well, soybeans and weeds because I never got around to spraying it. But you can see there's not a lot of leaves on these soybeans because the deer are in here every day eating them. And these aren't actually soybeans that are engineered to make soybeans, right? They're supposed to make more leaves and forage for the deer. But they do make soybean pods. And there's a little soybean right there. And the deer don't typically eat the bean pods until like later in the winter when they don't have anything else to eat and the pods are dried up. Still some leaves here. Soybean leaves are high in protein. If Bella saw that, she'd be going nuts. But all this protein here, we want to go into the body of the deer herd. So they got a lot of it. There'll be some that'll get brush hogged and then it'll just become nutrients that go back in the soil. This was 1 acre of what's called Eagle Forage soybeans. It puts out a lot of tonnage of greenery or forage, and that's what we wanted. We wanted it to get tall, and then we took down our fence and let the deer go in there and just eat, and you know, we want them to wipe it out. Another thing I got to do is build an equipment shed. Got my landscape rake there in the woods. I got my scraping blade there in the woods. And eventually Deb's gonna kick me out of the pole barn where I have my brush hogs and disc harrow and box blade. So I'm thinking that I need to take down a few of these trees. But in this area right here on the driveway going to my parents' house, I'll just extend this gravel here to where those railroad ties are. And I think I'll put an equipment shed there, maybe 48 foot wide. Not anything elaborate, more of a lean-to type thing, just to get the equipment out of the weather. The only way I'm gonna get her off that tractor is with a pry bar, it seems. I was inside talking to my folks, and I thought she was gonna quit over there alongside the pond, but she decided to do this whole front half acre or so as well. It's funny, for someone that hasn't really been around tractors all her life or hasn't been around tractors at all, and we talk about her and her zero turn, but she's been doing all the work on the tractor since my surgery. I didn't ask her to do that. She just decided she was having fun, I guess. I think she's done. We'll see if she turns around so she can back up into the shed. She has trouble backing. She'll be the first to admit it. You know how some people go to a boat ramp to watch other people back their boats in? This is kind of like that. As long as she don't hit the door, we're good. We put the bucket on a board just to keep it off the concrete.
I'm so sweaty and dirty.
You are? I put a mic on her so you could hear what she had to say. That's all. That's 100% unfiltered. A little dirty, huh?
Yeah, don't get too close, I'm nasty. Holy cow, I got a lot done.
So you've been out there. You actually kind of surprised me when you did this front part. I went in and talked to my folks and took Bella in there so they could hang out with her. But you took off and
I did a lot.
You did a lot.
I did so much. I'm pretty proud of myself for how much I did, especially since it's only been the second time I've been on that tractor with the Finish Mower. I just thought, you know, it's growing so fast, it needs to be done. But boy, I gotta tell you, I'm hot and I'm sweaty.
Yeah, I saw you were fanning yourself. So this area right here up front, it cut a lot better, didn't it? Because it was shorter, it like mulched it in more.
Yeah, I could hear the tractor a couple times.
I could too.
And it kind of bogged down a little bit. I'm tired, man. You wouldn't think just riding a tractor would make you tired, but.
We got Bella cooling off, and finally she gave up and laid down. And Deb's kind of clean. And we want to thank Rose Metal Product for that aluminum table. We just put it together today. It's in a separate video, but go check them out. They got some great stuff. But that thing, we already love it. You can see we've already got a whole bunch of stuff on it already. But until next time, y'all take care out there. Remember, life's short.
Be kind.
And tractor hard.
Take care.
Take care, guys.